200 Belton or Guru Belton, depending on the system I teach. Obviously, I show different systems. I do want to represent and show Pekiti, Tirsia, Kali. I'm a 200 undergrad, 200 Leo Gahe. I'm also a guru in Balintawak under GM Bobby Tabawada. And then I'm also an NSI senior instructor under Kelly Warden, Natural Spirit International in Washington, also Warden Defense Systems. Okay, so basically, within showing kind of those three systems, which is difficult to do, I'm going to kind of piece out some really key things, and then I'm going to tie it in the end with the NSI mindset. Okay, Sabayan. Everybody sees PTK and they know that for Sabayan. Sabayan means same time, and you got principles of thrust and slash. Okay, as he's thrusting, I'm bisecting the line. Now, obviously, this is just a training tool. I'm not going to grab the blade or anything like that. But if this was a blade, and if it's a little shorter, right there, I would just bisect the line. That's what we mean by bisect the line. I'm loading this up because what I'm doing is really I'm slashing across his face. All right. So, but to be safe, I'm pulling it to my shoulder. Here's my puño. I'm stepping off to the side. I'm picking it up with a stick, and he's going to do the same. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and we'll go a little faster. And we can go into blade. Okay? Now, blade-wise, beautiful thing about Filipino martial arts, the stick is the blade is the stick, your empty hand, it's all seamless. Okay? It doesn't have to change. Same thing. I bisect the line. Okay? I could be a thrust to the bicep, thrust to the face, to the neck, and then I show him the puño, but I can pick it up with my blade as it comes around to a pass cut. Right there, okay? Another version would be, as it's coming, I parry it, and then my blade's coming underneath. I throw a thrust, he picks it up, I slash. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So now it's a 5 count. See? And at any time, I can finish this into an end game scenario. Okay, I parried, that slash came, I fed it to this hand, got out of the way, step back in, I slid up and I hit that blade under his armpit, because if not, he can parry that. So I go right up here, boom. So PTK goes deep, obviously, and I can't really do all that in so many minutes, but we're going to show the other arts, okay? Balintawak. GM Bobby Tabawada. In the Balintawak system, you have levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Level 6, you mean you complete the art. That's what Josh is. He's a completion of the art, or we call it COA. All right. At the completion of the art, I can choose whether or not I want to progress. Progressing forward means, hey, I can produce a level 6 of my own. Meaning I can bring somebody up and teach them to teach others. Learn to teach, teach to learn. He is now level 6, a completion of the art. I then now can present to GM Bobby, I would like to do the 7, a guru status. I'm going to come up with 24 techniques of my own expression within the Balintawak frame and the mindset and some of the principles, and I'm going to show it to you in front of you and a bunch of grandmasters and a bunch of also 7s, FQIs, full qualified instructors. Upon that approval, he likes what he sees. He sees the practicality, the flow. He sees your expression, whether you're a Muay Thai guy, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, you're some Sarada guy, Bahalana. It doesn't matter. He wants to see what can you do and how will you formulate that. Out of those 24 techniques, that becomes yourself and your self-expression. That is your self-discovery. That is the black belt who then has to look back at himself and go, I'm here now. Now the journey just restarted, okay? So, just real quick, a Balintawak demo. I got different grouping system. Group 1, lifting clear, okay? I'm just gonna give samples of each. Group 2, lifting clearing, but with head movement, because he's moving his head. He's moving his head right there, okay? Group 3, that's preparation for flexibility. He's moving his body. Look at that. He's moving his body as I'm thrusting. Okay, let's go over here. Group 4, speed and reflexes. So I want to see how fast can he react. Go, go, go. Okay. Group 5, preparation or defense against punches while in stick fighting motion. Clear that. Here's a punch. Here's a punch. I trap that. Here's a punch. Here's a punch. Boom, boom. And then in the end, you can do your disarms and whatnot. Okay? At that level, at level 6, you're disarming. Now, I said, well, how can I express this? I'm an NSI guy. You know, Dr. Kelly does stuff like, we just show the fulcrum and load series, single stick. So you see these fulcrums, these loads. So it's not just your typical stick patterns. He's using forearm. He can come in here, I can hit, I can load, I can release, I can release, I can release. Well, how do I apply that with a stick? So, a couple of disarms. some really cool ones. You know, I can bait him here, trap the stick, finish, headshot. Okay. Another one would be if I go down the middle, I just draw that reaction right there. If I go too close, he's gonna trap my puño. So I'm hitting with the stick. It clears that center line. Look at my left hand. I'm snaking, I'm weaving. I bait him with the puño. Here's that. Again, Warden Defense System has what we call Renegade JKD. JKD concept, attack by draw. Here's my draw, here's my attack. Here's that trap. Bam, center line punch, elbow, whatever it is I want to do. Okay, and you can do that at full speed. Once you get it down, here's the center line, boom, boom, pop. Right there, okay, this side. There's not always just this side. There's stuff that comes from this side. So you just have to reformulate things, you know, trying to figure out how am I gonna draw this from this side. Usually it's a block. This is your typical block, okay? So there's disarms here. You can draw the punch, and then trap this. Here's that strip. Pull him back in, pop, and finish. Okay, that's one of our regular Balintawak disarms. I'm like, let's add some flavor, some flair to it. You know, what would I do? Dr. Kelly's principles of loads, thrust, or loads and releases. So I'm gonna take a stick, I'm gonna crash in, bam, and I'm gonna release. It's like a flick. See? A little bit more of a momentum that way. So I'm gonna crash in. My draws attention, flick, and then here's that load. As I hit him here, I can trap again. Okay, I can trap the stick here, hit him right here, or here's hit. I can trap it in his arm. You guys see it back there? And when it's trapped in his arm, just grab that stick in the top, boom, finish. Okay. So basically, within the Balintawak system, NSI teaches us. You know, we got our Sinawali drills. We can go into our puño series, which come in, crash in. Here's our puño 2, puño 3, puño 4, and puño 5. Puño 5, and I can go anytime. I can go back to 1. This can be blade 2. So here I can pull it out. Boom. There you go. See, he's that fast. Good. Here's a 2. Here's a 4. Here's a 3. And here's a 5. See? And back to 1. All that with stick and knife. That's NSI. So in that span of time frame, you guys saw 3 different systems. Beautiful systems. Learn each separately. Train. Grow. I think what NSI has done for myself as an instructor is just take principles and concepts and not get stuck on, does it have to be here? And nothing, and I'm gonna make sure this is clear, there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Learn the basics, learn patterns 1, concept 2, concept 3, you know, drill number 5, drill number 7, 64 attacks, 37 attacks, I don't care. Learn it, get familiar, because all it is, it's line familiarization. After a while, I just say, Josh, here you go, deal with this line. Josh, deal with this line. He just showed 2 different systems. See, so at the end of the day, I got to defend and I got to counter. Or in some terms, like Grant Thorne says, non-counterability, or there's no defense, just offense and counter offense and recounter. So just how you look at it, guys, for me, it's an expression of the Filipino martial arts. And be responsible as FMA instructors. I do train military, police. At one point, you got to be responsible for what you teach too. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.